joke gives you an unexpected turn, it takes you to a new place together with it. You kind of get to a new place. Just like you're following the joke, right? I'm telling you a story. Whenever you hear a story, a good storyteller takes you on a journey with his story. If I'm telling you about white snow or about hot summer, you are with me.
Oh, yes, you can get it?
You're with me experiencing the heat or the cold. You're like partially with me, right? And then you have an unexpected turn. So it takes you to a new place.
It might not be here for here. But...
It takes you to a new place. So it relaxes people because it takes them to a new place, not where they were before. That's Miller writes. That's the whole thing about the joke. It's unexpected turn of events, and it takes you to a new place.
So,
Welcome.
well, you can experience the same situation in a much different way, but in like almost like an elevated way. Like a more...
You mind being on camera?
It's like
if you do, then don't sit here.
So he was taking you to a different place.
Okay.
It means you're experiencing the same moment.
I just
You're in the
started
same
live
place
streaming for
physically,
whoever will
but you're
join,
experiencing it in a different way.
mentally, right? You're in a new place mentally.
Yeah,
It's not like there's a million people.
emotionally,
Not yet.
spiritually,
How it works, by the way. What's that?
and as a result, physically.
Yeah.
Right.
Can I get you food?
There was a very
hot food,
Which is redeeming.
crackers and
Redemptive
dips,
quality.
lime,
It's very redemptive.
yeah.
Why is it black and white?
Hard alcohol, beer.
I'll tell you. This is what I can tell you from my childhood. Okay.
You're related to Joseph in Australia?
I come
No, I know them.
from a family of professional hikers.
His long lost cousins.
I was born in Russia. Okay. I came to Cleveland only as a kid. I was born in Russia.
Where do you live?
My parents
Where do you live?
actually met at a hike.
Place.
Now, hiking in Russia is not what is hiking in
I
America.
took
There's
that
one
another
more in
one.
the corner. Sorry.
Here.
No, it's fine. Hiking.
ADD.
I just distract people. Oh, you want that?
Oh,
I just
Have it. Oh, stick this back again.
One second. Who is this? Oh, that's Fruma. Hi, Frumichka. We are coming.
I love diaper duty.
Should I come or you'll come?
I got it.
You
But you
will-
Fabring then.
Okay. Or we could switch. I like changing diapers better.
You have changed
Not a
more
bad
diapers
deal.
than me. That's true.
Yes, I have more experience than you, 100%.
He
So-
was thinking about that. It's not a
Yes,
bad deal.
yes.
It's not a bad deal.
So I had to prove to my daughter that I know how to change diapers to boys. You know, she was like, From I changed diapers. She's like, no, but it's a boy. I'm like, I change diapers to boys also. Like,
did she forget I exist?
No. I had to like prove it to her when she saw me change it. Like, yeah. So.
What does she know? It's her first kid.
Exactly. So what I was saying. So I come. So what you're saying, hiking that I knew as a kid, as a young teenager, was a very like when we, like for example, we went to Tundra, we were the first humans that were ever walking there. Like nobody, the maps we had were made from helicopters. That's where they were off. They were not actually exact maps. We got because of lost in trouble several times. So why now? My both parents were in academia, and in specifically academic circles, hiking was very, very popular. Why? Because it's a very high stress. Yeah, academia today in America means teaching, but it also means research. They were doing researches with very heavy deadlines. In Russia, all of the science was based on military, and everything is military was the only branch of economy that was actually functioning in Russia, and everything was focused on military. And military was getting very hard deadlines and very strict guidelines, and
Is it still like that?
No, now even military is not working in Russia. So as we saw in Ukraine war, but when I grew up, military was the only functioning part of the country. So it was very, very high pressure, deadlines, staying up nights, and it's a research. And you have to come up with solutions. It's not just manual labor. Like you're breaking your brain. You have to solve this program by 2 p.m. tomorrow and you don't have a solution, you know what I mean? You're like, you are not sleeping, you're not eating, you're just, you know, so very high stress job, very high stress jobs. So hiking was allowing people, why is hiking is extreme stress. Hiking, you go on hikes, you are, like, just to give you an idea, I told you about, you know, tundra, we spent 2 weeks on skis. Like, you cannot make a step without ski, you fall through the through the snow is taller than you. You have to be on skis for 2 weeks straight without making one step without a ski. And you are traveling, we were doing, what is it, in miles, I guess you could call it. It was like 50 to 60 miles a day.
Oh, wow.
Okay, it was like you're talking about.
Wow.
It's like you're just chugging along. It's high stress.
People don't even drive that much.
So you no mile. What do you mean drive? Drive is like 1 hour drive.
Saying most people don't drive that much on a regular basis.
Right, but yeah, but so it's, I'm saying it's a high stress. So that stress was allowing you to divert your mind from this stress. You understand? It's like you said, you're like in a new space. You know what I mean? It forces you. It's physically forces you to refocus, and then you're able to come back to your original. You know what I mean? To your original work, just because you were refocused. You were forced to refocus for a little bit. Anyway.
Wow. So you're doing it in a different way. It's not like you're just all in on your mind. I mean, although you're still using your willpower to get you through doing the physical hike, but it's, you know, working out a different part of oneself when they're doing the skiing or the hiking or whatever. It's like...
But your mind is not on your science projects anymore, I promise you that. Your mind is not on anything else. Or when we were going on canoes and, you know, there's a fast current and you're just in a canoe and you're just going God knows where. You know what I mean? You're not thinking about your science projects anymore, I promise you. You are thinking about how to survive.
Wow.
But that's, you know.
Sounds like amazing though.
It is amazing. It's amazing. It's an amazing lesson in life.
Yeah.
People's lives were shaped there.
Wow.
People's lives were shaped. I mean, those hikes shaped. I tell you, those hikes. I am thankful to those hikes for what I became. But it was hell. It was hard as God knows what. It was, and you can, and you can catch. You know that if you'll be complaining once, nobody's going to take you next time to any hike. Not one word of kvetching. That's
Wow.
Yeah.
Have you done anything like that here in America?
They don't have it here in America.
It's too
There's no such a thing.
petite over here.
Yeah. You go on a hiking trail where it's you could take a blue trail or red trail, and you know, and camping only in designated areas. And it's, you know, we met polar bears, we met black bears. By the way, you know that white bear is a polar opposite of black bear. You didn't get this one.
No, I got it.
Okay,
Because
fine.
it's a polar bear.
That was very deep.
Yes,
It
yes,
was a
yes.
polar
It was a joke with a unexpected twist, you know. Yes, yes.
That was pretty expected.
Actually, it wasn't. It was surface,
Well, my son was expecting
surface, it's actually surface level. It's not so deep.
surface level, yes. Because they're black and white only on surface. Inside they're the same.
The ice sheets are also on the surface.
Yes, yes, yes. You see, somebody's getting my jokes. Okay, l'chaim, l'chaim.
Chaim.
Alright, if you're having more, I'll have more.
Go for it. Climb to that, yes.
L'chaim.
Grab a.
Who's bothering me? Not gonna hear.
Split it. Avi.
Him. Or him. Or all of us. There's a lot of camera. Yeah. It's a live stream.
How many views?
No clue how you check. Is this from Reagan? Elliot,
Who is it? It was my shver. You were the one talking, right?
Yeah.
Someone's asking who was
Yeah.
it. My father-in-law. Now he's holding my son, my newborn son.
Checking it out. Actually, checking it Asking what's the name of your phone. Asking what's the name of
Go on, short and sweet, go on rabbiv.com and you'll find out all about him and you'll see some amazing videos. I'll put it in the chat over here. rabbiv.com, like this, right?
Should've probably been doing this on live stream.
Oh, you're not doing live Avir, you want a guitar? You want your old guitar is the question. The only other one I have is a mini one.
So on Hey Tavis,
I get another seltzer?
on Hey Tavis, we obviously
Can I
celebrate
get another
the something
seltzer?
that see us, which is whole things.
I don't have another seltzer in the fridge, but I have under the
celebrating
fridge
the fact that
have
Sorry,
more
was
put
taken
in
away
the
from
freezer
them
if you
and
find
that we-
space, and then they'll get cold.
what is Hey Tavis in like day to day life? Meaning, aside from the fact that we're celebrating the fact that
You guys shut the
we
oven.
have Chassidus and that we have a Rebbe and that we have,
Take out everything.
meaning, what's the Masaput?
The key, at least what it looks like, at least to us, what was the key point of the whole court case? When the whole court case started, they were looking for court
You need
case,
some of this?
America is a country ran by lawyers.
In the drawer right there in front of you.
They
By the spoons, in front of the spoons there should be. Your mother joined also. She hears your voice.
Hi, mommy.
they were looking for lawyers, and it was Rabbi Kaplan who suggested to include Nate Lewin, who lives in Potomac.
He almost there.
And he became the leading lawyer. He's a federal lawyer who has since he has become a legend. He's one of the legend lawyers of U.S. federal court and Supreme Court. He has argued in front of Supreme Court. Nate Lewin.
Net?
Nate.
Nat. Or Nate.
Nat,
Yeah.
Nate Lewin. Nat Lewin. Nathan Lewin.
Right.
And Nat Lewin was then he was together with a whole bunch of other lawyers. He came to the Rebbe. And by the way, Nat Lewin originally agreed to do it for free.
Yeah.
To do the case for free. The Rebbe insisted to pay him. The Rebbe said, we don't want free services, we want to pay. Now, Rabbi Kaplan called back Nat Lewin and told him that we want to make sure to pay those services. And people from America told me that I don't know about other heroes, but this horror from the Rebbe Nat Lewin took very seriously.
Take money.
So they were paying. He was charging. He was billing them to the top.
Once he knows that Lubavitch was instructed by the Rebbe to pay him, they're going to pay him whatever they need. It's how you're out now.
He simply wanted to help them be Mekayim what the Rebbe said.
That's right. That's right.
Exactly. So what was the Ikon Kodosh?
So when the team of lawyers, together with Nat Lewin, came together for the first time, they did not seem to come to an agreement. The Rebbe was suggesting a specific line of pursuing the case, and the lawyers were not agreeing. And the Rebbe was, this very first meeting, the Rebbe showed the letter from Friedrich Rebbe that said that Friedrich Rebbe wrote in this letter that a Rebbe does not belong to himself, and the Rebbe does not belong to himself, and the Rebbe does not have any personal possessions. Everything what the Rebbe has belongs to Chassidim, and the Rebbe himself belongs to Chassidim. That was the letter.
Foundation of the case.
That was one, and the lawyer said, "What do you mean? In America, we believe in American law is based on concept of personal property. You cannot say that person does belong to himself. And even if you will say that whatever his possessions are, it belongs to the community. Who is the community? Who is it? Who is in charge of the community? Who is the responsible party here? You can't sue a community.
Yeah.
You can't hold the community responsible. It's specific individuals. Who are they? So the lawyers did not want to have this line of work, and they felt that they have a strong case based on other whatever legal theories they had. And actually, when they were walking out of 770, the meeting was in 770. When they were walking out of 770, the Rebbe stopped by the door, and the Rebbe said to the lawyers, "Ihr meint, as ich will, as ihr Zoltan, this kumto is by mir." You thought that I want you all to do everything the way I think is right. It's nicht emes. It's not the case. Ich will, as ihr Zoltan, as ihr kommt bei euch. I want you to do everything the way you think is right. Aber ich will, ihr soll willen, as viel kommt es bei euch, als ihr kommt bei mir. But I want you to think what's right, what I think is right. In other words, the Rebbe did not want them to blindly follow his instructions. The Rebbe didn't want them to say that, okay, we think differently, but we are obeying the orders, and whatever the Rebbe said, that's what we are doing. The Rebbe did not want it. The Rebbe said, I want you to understand and believe that this is the real way to go. And only after you believe it, this is when I want you to do it. Now, what happened? What happened was that unfortunately this case was almost lost. They were at the verge of losing the case because they were using all of their own arguments. But only after they almost lost their own case, they realized they have no other choice. They came back to this letter that Friedrich Rebbe wrote. And by the way, the Rebbe, the Rebbetzin was the most instrumental person in this whole case. And in the deposition, they asked the Rebbetzin, by the way, there is a video of the deposition which was arguably illegally taken. Without
Someone actually just sent it to me today.
Yeah. So
it's not like a legal record type video?
Audio record is legal record.
But a
The
video of it.
was, somebody took it, I don't know exactly how, what, why, when, where. And now I saw it. It is, if you haven't watched it, it is very entertaining, specifically how the Rebbe was handling those lawyers. When those lawyers were arguing.
The Rebbetzin was
The Rebbetzin.
Yeah.
At one point, when the lawyers were arguing with each other, the Rebbetzin, just to herself, mumbles under her breath, says, "I say wie kleine Kinder." So they asked the Rebbetzin during this deposition. They asked the Rebbetzin, "Did your father?" Now she is the daughter of the person whose Yerusha they are talking about. So she was the key witness there. So they asked her, "Did your father have anything that belongs to him?" So she said, "A thousand film."
Oh, I didn't know that.
Yeah.
I only know the famous line of the Rebbe belongs to Chassidim. So.
She said, 1,000 film. Everything else belonged to Chassidim.
Where's the
He's at his own film. Huh?
Where's the Frierdiker Rebbe's thousand film?
When when stream is going to be over, I'll tell you.
Oh, he took it out.
So
off the record.
The
Whatever's off the record has to be video, though. That's the point.
So
Just like this, just like how we know this.
The key of this whole case was that the Rebbe does not belong to himself. The Rebbe belongs to Chassidim. That is the key. That was the key element of this entire case.
And now.
Now, the Rebbe still belongs to us.
Overgeen.
Overgeen is like this. Overgeen is like this. This is the overgeen. Okay? Moshe Feller once. Moshe Feller had.
We got a comment from someone privately in WhatsApp. He sent me, "Get me this video with the Rebbetzin and lawyers!" Exclamation point! Exclamation point! Sounds sick! 4 exclamation points.
Coming soon.
So Moshe Feller at one point had a group of Balabatim who were very much into sports, and they wanted to make a Chabad event at the sports stadium, and they were promising box seats for everybody in the Chabad group, and they wanted Moshe Feller to come to the stadium to, for this Chabad event at the stadium, blah, 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 pre-game, tailgate, whatever is the whole thing. So, now, on one hand, Moshe Feller is not exactly a person to go to a stadium for a baseball game. He probably didn't know what baseball is or was, okay? On the other hand, it was a shlech. It's not also to go to, it's not a, it's a stadium. It's not an issur to go to a stadium. So he wrote to the Rebbe. He wrote to the Rebbe whether or not you should do this event, Chabad event at the stadium. With him going there. So the Rebbe answered that he's not, the Rebbe said that he believed that every shliach, I'm paraphrasing, I don't know exactly the Lashon, the Rebbe said that every shliach should be determining the work of his Chabad house on his own, but the Rebbe wants him to remember that since he's a shliach of the Rebbe, wherever he is going, he's taking the Rebbe with him. So obviously, Moshe Feller didn't go to any stadium. Why? Because Moshe Feller thought, I'm going to schlep the Rebbe into the stadium with me. The Rebbe has nothing better to do than be in a stadium. So this is what, if you're asking, what is it for us? The Rebbe doesn't have anything of his own. The Rebbe gave everything to us. The Rebbe is us. So, hey, do me a favor.
It was a picture for my friend. I'll put it away.
Yeah.
It is disturbing. I know it could be. It's very intimidating.
I've once I saw a meme. I think I thought it. Not meme, actual picture. I think I showed it to you. One of the many pictures I was showing to my kids. That there's a at some sort of a marathon or some sort of a run, historic run. I don't know, one of the big marathons. At the finish line of a marathon, there's like whole crowds of people, and everybody's standing with their phones and like filming, and one old lady just standing and watching. And the caption says, and hundreds of thousands of people are busy with their phones, and only one lady is enjoying the moment.
Right.
Anyway, so going back to the original, what I was saying, that the Rebbe doesn't have anything of his own. The Rebbe gave everything to us. The Rebbe's physical possessions, the Rebbe's forum, the Rebbe's clothing, the Rebbe's dishes, the Rebbe's food, the Rebbe's furniture, the Rebbe's car, the Rebbe's house, the Rebbe's everything is us. The question is, where do we schlep it? Where do we take it with us? This is the point. This is the question. The Rebbe gave everything to us.
No, the melech is not allowed to have. It's issa for a melech to have many susim, to amass horses, right? So, as chassidim, we're chassidim of the melech, and we just can't be a third because otherwise we're making an isser bichal chas v'shalom. So you can't be a third. You have to actually be a mensch.
You are Shimon Kalazarov. His famous song. Ich bin der weltberimste Pferd.
I never heard that.
Aber bin ich der Rebbe Zafert.
Oh.
I am the biggest Pferd, I'm the biggest horse in the world, but I'm the Rebbe's horse, so it's fine.
Yeah, but the Rebbe can't have that many horses. He's a melech. Oh. If Shlomo Melech could, then the Rebbe could.
So the point is that the Rebbe gave everything to us.
No,
The question is, where are we schlepping the Rebbe into? Wherever I go, the Rebbe is with me. Now, people will ask me a lot of times, well, there's nothing wrong with going to the stadium by the game. No, I have nothing. I happen to be not into sports. I know nothing about sports. I sincerely believe that unless you are born in America, you don't have a physical capability of understanding baseball. That's what I personally think. There's a thing in my head.
Don't worry, I'm born in America and I don't understand baseball.
Okay, so you got to check your lineage. It's like very far Polish over there. So I had so many friends who were trying to understand the seichel of baseball. To me, maybe I'm just dumb. I don't know, but just like it doesn't click in my head. I don't know why. I never understood.
It's a lazy game. You run, you wait for a few minutes, you run again.
Yeah. Just like golf, but
I used to like baseball because I get to sit there with my teammates while
just
someone's
like
at bat.
It's
Ring over there, and then
Michael Schiff spent a long time explaining golf to me, and I was like listening, and I said, okay.
Don't you have to be like 67?
Could you please say it again, please? The whole thing is just.
Don't you have to be 67 or older to play golf?
No, well,
there's actually a lot of young people that play.
Anyway.
Surprisingly.
Tiger Woods.
So the bottom line is that there are many things that
Trump
I
is
know.
the youngest golf player.
there's nothing. There are many things that there's nothing wrong with. Is there anything wrong with it? There's nothing wrong with it. It's perfectly fine. It's kosher lemihajit. But the question is,
Didn't the Rebbe say the guest here for Tisha should go to a baseball game or something like that?
What?
That's what I heard.
Never heard anything like that.
When did you hear
Never
this?
heard that.
Who told you this?
My father.
Ask him for the.
It just sounds like something missing a lot of details.
I don't know. It's just Bachram. Like what?
Ask
Not
him.
Bachrim?
Not Bachram.
The Rebbe
I
said
know about
Bachrim should go to a baseball game.
I know about Bachram, but visitors for Tishrei.
It could be. It could be
Like-
someone like told her like, "Oh, I'm gonna come for Tishrei and then do what?" Like, space
It
ends up
sounds
the whole
like
thing.
it sounds like, you know what, in Cleveland, in Cleveland there was, in Taylor Road Synagogue, when Taylor Road Synagogue was a big thing in Cleveland, there was Rabbi's Latin in Taylor Road. Later on opened Taylor Road East, and Taylor Road East then collapsed. But in Taylor Road Synagogue, which was back then the big synagogue, Rabbi, he was like a modern Orthodox rabbi, and he was quoted saying that you are allowed to paint, to draw on Shabbos. An uproar. He's a frum rov. He's a modern Orthodox, fine, but Orthodox rabbi said you're allowed to paint on Shabbos. Well, how is it possible? So then they asked people who were there what actually happened. It wasn't Shabbos, and he said in Shabbos you're not allowed to draw on Shabbos. And one lady asked, but for me, drawing is like a life essential thing. I'm going to die if I'm not going to draw. So he said, if you'll die if you're going to draw, then you can draw on Shabbos. So people all over were saying that you're allowed to draw on Shabbos. He said you're allowed to draw on Shabbos. I don't know. I mean, maybe we need to understand their context.
I don't know either. It's just a rumor and speculation. We don't know, guys.
The most misquoted person in the world is the Rebbe. Okay, there's no person in the world who has suffered through more misquotations than the Rebbe.
Really tired to go to sleep.
Okay,
Really nice meeting you.
same here.
There's three. Are you Yosef Yitzchak? Yosef. Did you say you're Yosef?
Joseph. Last name. Joseph.
Oh.
Joseph.
Got it. Joseph. Because I just named my son Yosef Yitzchak. This is Yosef Yitzchak. Yeah.
Well, look at how his fingers. He's like thinking. He's like,
Yeah, he's vertracht. He's in a Fabringen.
Yeah.
Trying to
He was thinking what he
processing
said. Exactly.
Processing what Zadig said.
We were saying Shema before.
He's like,
Yosef, I'll see you. Always welcome, as long as you're in Crown Heights. You know where to go.
So I get married.
You know which apartment to
and
ring.
We'll figure out what happens after that. But
Yeah.
I'm here, you know.
Now we'll probably be here a lot more Shabbosim because we have the baby. Unless we're sleeping somewhere, we're making meals here. So we're going to do a lot more hosting, B'ezras Hashem.
Wow.
This is a Suda Seidah in advance for the Eibusher giving us the ability
The
to
TLPS
host.
house.
Baruch Hashem. Yeah, Baruch Hashem.
The thing wasn't working.
Chaim is Yitzchak. Soon by you, L'chaim, a wedding, Shalom Zacher, bris.
Yeah.
Thank you. But I can't name my kid Yosef Yitzchak, so
Right.
that one will last.
But you could do Menachem Mendel. There you go.
Ask my dad, like, why is my name not Menachem Mendel? Because I was born Yosef Nissan. Because he felt like you were connected to Yosef. That's how like you thought
Right,
of. Whatever. So he said, like, at least you can name your son.
right. You
Menachem
can
Mendel.
name your son.
Yeah.
Check out this picture here.
It's like you really want to
I know. I
This
saw a
picture, I loved it, and I just loved it. And then my friend pointed out to me that this picture was taken. The Rebbe actually had it in his office, and he wrote on the back the date that it was taken. Like it was one of the Rebbe's pictures that he had, Chaf Hei Adar Aleph, which is the day that me and Firma got married,
Wow.
less than a year ago. Yeah, that's when that was taken in. I forgot what the place is.
It was in Poland.
Something with a P.
It was in Poland.
Somewhere in Poland, but the Rebbe wrote what the location of that like park or whatever it was.
Something with a P. Poland. Yeah. Poland.
That's amazing. That's an amazing
Right.
little
Yeah,
fun
it's
fact.
Yeah. Someone else.
My sub is here.
Someone's coming to fill your shoes.
Yeah.
Your shoes can never be filled though. But that's some.
What size are you? What size are you?
Size 10. I mean, it's pretty
Oh.
cool size.
Yeah, very hard.
We have alligator
We are
size.
8. We are 8.
I could find your shoes.
Oh, it's your brother.
Who is it? Oh, Schneer? Beautiful.
What was it?
Oh.
Welcome, welcome. It is cold outside.
There.
Welcome to
Reading
all the brachas.
Yeah.
Abli die.
Amen.
Unlimited brachas.
Amen. Don't forget a bracha for anyone.
No.
What?
When they're asking for the address, tell them you're for raining out on me.
What do you mean? You don't have a phone to text them?
Yeah, but what am I sending him?
315 New York Avenue, apartment.
A phone, yeah.
Have hot chocolate with cocoa on the stove top. Make yourself utensils and plates or drop more l'chaim. Shver l'chaim l'bracha.
L'chaim, l'chaim. L'chaim l'bracha.
Yosef Yitzchak ben Fruma should have a refuah shlema.
Amen.
Amen.
And his father, Yotzvi, should have a refuah shlema kreva from Timtim Aleva Hamayach. So these are serious machlis. Chaim l'bracha. Maybe he needs to burp. He didn't really burp.
So, this is.
Looked at me like he wanted to throw up or something.
So this is.
Throw up a hitivus for breaking.
Yeah, here's a sheet. You know, throw up a hitivus for breaking. Those things from Detroit or something. I'm sorry to
He's very strong, though. He knows how to pick up his head.
Even though the Hitev is all about Mazare B'chaim.
That's exactly. I was trying to tell you yesterday that it's Mazar B'chaim After B'chaim.
So.
Well, that's.
People forget.
I would answer Shleima, not that. Not that your answer was not accurate, Chas v'shalom. But I would answer that question, and I do answer that question to myself. I think Heitevis, like, you know, people by Bekinis HaShulchan say, like, Rosh Chodesh Kislev is like our generation's Yom Tov. I think when they say our generation, they mean our generation as Dar Shvi, who experienced the Rebbe Lamata Beguf Gashmi. But our generation, like the Beta generation, the first generation of Geula type
I disagree
thing.
with the first thing you said, but yeah.
What?
I disagree with the first thing you said.
What,
but
so
yeah.
what do you disagree with? Tell me.
Farbrengens every Shabbos weren't before Lamed Ches. Dollars weren't before Lamed Ches. All the Aveseda that we have now was all from after Rosh Chodesh Kislev. You get
That's what they answer by
if you get a dollar,
say, how does this Kislev apply?
No,
to
for
us
sure,
now?
for sure.
If that's
But the point is that still doesn't apply to.
everything we're living off of now
is because of the Torah after Rosh Chodesh Kislev. So you're going to say that the whole Yom Tov Rosh Chodesh Kislev is just because of the Torah? I know a bunch of guys that don't learn
not
Torah,
only.
they still love the Rebbe.
1 second, but that's what I'm saying. So Heitevis completes that because Rosh Chodesh Kislev, in simple ideas, They're celebrating that the Rebbe was better, and we saw the Rebbe again. There was more Gilui of the Rebbe, because before there was a little Helen Behester, and we couldn't see the Rebbe because the Rebbe was recovering. And with the Rebbe's full recovery, there was once again a Gilui, and we love that. And then we, of course, together with the Gilui of the Rebbe's Guf, there's a tremendous Gilui of what the Rebbe really is, which is the Chassidus, 100%.
Yeah.
But Hey Tevis, it becomes clear to us that what the Rebbe really is the Chassidus.
Right.
That's what I'm saying. And it's really not about the Guf. And Mazari B'chaim, Afu B'chaim, it's not about the Guf.
No, I don't like that.
This week's Parsha, Yaakov Avinu Le'mis.
I
What?
agree with what you're saying. I don't like that you're downplaying Rish Chodesh Kislev.
I'm not downplaying Rosh Chodesh Kislev. I'm saying that Hey Tevis, especially for like the post Gimel Tammuz Chassidim, it really completes like what we speak about on Rosh Chodesh Kislev. It helps us to understand. That's what I'm saying.
Rosh Chodesh Kislev is about.
Yeah. It makes Rosh Chodesh Kislev relevant to us.
So I really, Eli said that Rosh Chodesh Kislev is our generation's Yom Tov. So based on that, I also agree with, Hey Tevis is our generation's Yom Tov. Why? What's our generation? 21st century Americans. So all other Yom Tovs were, a Rebbe came out of jail. What's jail? People don't know what jail is. Recovered from a stroke. Okay, whatever. Illnesses were around. Won a court case. Oh, that's something 21st century America can relate to. We won a court case. Here you go. That's our generation.
It's like the Rebbe says in about Hanukkah, that Hanukkah is Chassidus coming into the most Gashmi parts. It's even being translated. Chassidus is even translated into English. So the concept of a Rebbe is even being translated into legal
court
terms.
Case. That's right. Here you go. That's 21st century America.
Also, with
Americans
also
can relate to.
Hey Kislev HaMelech Einimei, the fact that the Rebbe doesn't have to come to court.
Right.
It's that
Huge
they understand the concept of a Rebbe, that a Rebbe is not a regular person.
Okay. Just now, recently, Shlomo asked me about Isaac Kogan.
Who?
Isaac Kogan. It's a Kogan.
Yeah.
He when I was much younger, I remember from Leningrad. He's from Leningrad. But then he was kicked out of Russia. He left Russia. He came back. The Rebbe sent him actually to work on Sforim, which are unfortunately still now in Russia. And then, so I remember him from when he was still in Leningrad. And then he came back to Moscow because the Rebbe sent him and Shlomo Kunin Aronov Shamtov to work in Ber-Levin to work on Sforim and in Lenin's library. And he was in Moscow, and he became in Moscow the rabbi of the second shul. The Marin Roshi is the main rabbi shul. The second one is on Bronnaya, Большая Bronnaya. It's the other shul over there.
Where all the Chassidim actually went to.
So he was no. He went to Marin Roshi.
Wasn't that where all the KGB was?
No, that was Archipov. No, the government shul was Archipov,
Okay.
which is a Litvish shul. And Goldschmidt was a rabbi there, the whole thing. Now he left Russia, whatever, whole story. But Marin Roshi was where Chassidim went. I remember it as a dilapidated shack of a color which I couldn't figure out. I couldn't like.
Of a color?
I once told people it's green. It's not green. It's brown. I'm like, it's brown. I thought it's blue. Like we were actually arguing which color it was. It was like it was like it was a color that we couldn't figure out which color. It was I remember somebody slamming the door, walking out, slamming the door, and the door falling off. You know what I mean? So actually, I think it was Eli Cohen. Anyway, so it was like it was. But then there was another shul, which was a new shul. It was a government-owned building that was returned to the Jewish community and made a shul. And Isaac Cohen became a rabbi there. What is it?
Right?
Levin?
Levertov.
With what?
With that building becoming a shul.
Maybe I don't know. Okay.
There's that article about it, right?
So I decided. Where and next time I was in Moscow. I decided to go visit Isaac Cohen because I remember, just whatever. I remember him. He became Rav Shul. I was in Moscow anyway, so I wasn't Marin Rosh, obviously, but I decided to make a trip to to this other shul in Bronn.
What year?
It was probably 1991. So I decided to go visit him. 91, I think. No, 91. It was already 91. So I used to go visit him. So I came there.
Spanish for you, by the way.
Yeah, thank you. So I can't visit him there. And now it's today there are cell phones. You could call, hi, are you there? Are you there? But it was in Russia. You're lucky if you have a home phone. You know what I mean? So just go there. I don't know if he's there or not. I just go there. So I walk into shul, and I come in and there's a cleaning lady there.
Yeah, I was gonna ask.
Yeah.
Okay.
In the bottom right drawer, there's also water. Can you bring that thing?
Seltzer in the freezer.
It looks like a seltzer bottle, but it has water
So
inside.
what were you saying about Isaac Kobe?
So I came to see him in shul. I come to shul, and this cleaning lady is there, like mopping floor. And I walk in and I'm asking her. So and I come and I'm asking her, is Reb Isa there? She says, Reb Isa, no, he's going to be back soon. So I said, okay. So there's like a little waiting room. I'm sitting and waiting over there in the hallway. And I'm sitting waiting, and she's mopping the floor right there, as I'm sitting there. She says, Reb Isa, he's the real rabbi. I can tell you. I've seen many rabbis because I was mopping the floors. I was a janitor at Marina Rocha before. I've seen many rabbis, and I'm telling you, Isa Kogan, he's a real rabbi. Why? Because the other day we had a clogged toilet and nobody was able to get it working, and people were coming and professionals came, they couldn't get it unclogged, and Isa Kogan came and he had the snake and he had this and he unclogged it. He's the only one who get the toilet working. I'm telling you, he's a real rabbi.
And all that's because he looks to this.
So when we look, for her, he's a real rabbi because he knows how to unclog toilets. So for us, the rabbi is a real rabbi because he won a court case. You know what I mean? So, never. In Russia there were these classic movies, and in one of these classic movies there's like this gang, there's a band of bandits, and there's a cop. There's a police officer who is pretty much infiltrated them with his whole story Baba Maisa, and he is supposed to take them to a place where they're all going to be caught, okay? And he comes there, and obviously they don't trust him. They're suspicious of him, and he has his story that he was a truck driver and this and that, and they are telling him. And actually, one of the women in his gang, she looks at him and she says, "You said you're a truck driver. I'm looking at your hands. Your hands don't look like a truck driver hands, because they're like very fine, smooth and refined hands."
That was the story with your Pashkos.
By the way, yes, you're right, and yes, and Shlomo is right, and so he right away has to find a chap, and he says, "Yeah, because when I was younger, they were teaching me to play piano." So it was like that's why he has more refined hands. So they had the piano right there in this room.
Go play.
And they're saying, go play. So he gets there and he starts playing Beethoven. He starts playing Beethoven. Beethoven, those very dramatic Beethoven.
He's a musician over here.
Right, so
He
Beethoven,
played violin.
very dramatic Beethoven music. And these gangsters are like looking at you like, huh? And one of these gangsters like, I can do that too. And then say, you play, and they're telling him to play one of these gangster songs, like those like bum bum bum, they could play with one finger. Yeah. And he like looks at him, like smiles, smirks, says, okay, and he plays this gangster song, like, oh, now I know he's a musician. You know what I mean? So
he plays it.
Yeah, that's right.
That's what they relate to.
So, that's right. That's what they can do. So the Rebbe won the court. So now I know he's a real Rebbe. You know? That's a 21st century Rebbe.
It's like
he won the court case.
It's like in the book, The Ultimate Jew, where Yirmiyahu Baranov is explaining how the godless of the Rebbe, that a physical person is able to do such amazing things.
Right, exactly. Yeah.
Meaning,
exactly.
for someone, I'm saying, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, exactly.
No, that is not like that. It's not like the godless of the Rebbe is not that a physical mensch is able to.
This week will be Shloshim Yom Lefnei Chag of Yud Shvat, and there's a very famous letter that the Rebbe put out a little after the
Getting
Friedrich Rebbe's
tested.
Histalkos of like many people want to measure, many people want to describe what is a Rebbe. And the Rebbe goes through and the Rebbe is not the miracle worker, and he's not this great rabbi, and he's not this, he's Reish B'nai Yisrael.
The Rebbe says a bunch of things that the Friedrich Rebbe isn't. That's not.
Yeah, he is all those things, but that's not the definition.
I will tell you another story if you really want to go. You had your R-rated class today. That story.
I had what?
Your
rated R.
Yeah.
Oh, my rated R class.
I don't know if this was streamed, but
It's okay. This is also rated R.
I remember the person who taught me when I was a kid in Russia. His name was Michael Koritz. He now lives in Yerushalayim, right next to Machane Yehuda. Actually, my
descendant of Reb Pinchas Koritz.
No, his Mishpocha comes from there. Yes, exactly.
His Mishpocha comes from Koritz. Is he related to Pinchas Koritz?
Yes, the name comes from there. Anyway,
same way we're related to Mordechai Lepler.
Yes.
How did you go to school if you're not allowed Jewish studies?
So I can tell you in a minute. So actually my daughter, Musa, when she was in Israel for I don't think full went, but
that was the story with the fatty soup.
Yeah. So Musa came anyway.
I don't know the story. It sounds like it's the Maisa with the fatty soup.
Okay, back then.
Imagine a 7-year-old eating in the house of a Chassidish Yid that doesn't know Gashmias.
Oh, nice.
It's like the Alter Rebbe with too much salt and.
That's right. Anyway, so the story was that so he was now back then he was naked. Now he lives in Yerushalayim, but he was by the Rebbe already, and he was telling me the story that he is coming he's flying to JFK. And there is a Fabrengen, like he knows it was some sort of Yom Kippur probably. He knows there's a Fabrengen over the Rebbe, like he has to go straight from the airport. He's going to the Fabrengen, and
Michael Koritz is in America.
Yeah, so he's telling a story. He's telling a story how he was whatever. No, so he was. So he comes. So he gets a taxi just before Uber times. It was taxi, and taxi driver happens to be a Russian goy. A Russian goy is a taxi driver. So he speaks Russian. So he starts. So I guess somehow they end up talking. It's a long drive. They end up talking. So this goy starts asking him about Jews. So he tells him what I'm going to the Rebbe. He's all excited. He tells him I'm going to the Rebbe. This and that. So this guy says, if I'm bringing over the Rebbe, so he says, I also want to come. So he tells him it's in Yiddish, like I don't know what no, can I really let me in? He says, let anybody in. You could come. I mean, whatever. I don't know.
He's gonna stop you.
Yeah, they'll stop you.
You could even ask for tzedakah there. Right?
So he comes, and Punkt happened to be that Michael Koritz from there had to go like somewhere else also far. So he says, afterwards, I'll take you wherever you need to go. I'm not going to charge you for the time I'm there. I'll take you afterwards. But I want to be by this Fabrengen. Yeah. So he says, I want to be. So whatever. Fine, you want to come to me. So they come. So Michael Koritz was sure that this guy will spend first 5 minutes there, and he's going to disappear, and whatever. He'll flag another taxi. Who cares? You know what I mean? But Fabrengen is over. Michael Koritz walks out and he sees this guy there. He stuck around the whole Fabrengen. Like
what year was it?
I don't remember. So he was like, so he's like, you're still here? So yeah, you were there with Fabrengen the whole time. So yeah, he was like, okay, like the guy from whatever Fabrengen, Yiddish, Nigunim, this that was. So he's taking them. I think he was taking someone in New Jersey or something. So he's taking him another long ride. So they're talking. And he says to the guy, he says, "No, how'd you like Fabrengen?" So he says, "Your Rebbe is an amazing person." Yeah, okay. Tell me more. He says, "I haven't seen a person that would be in public, sitting there for 6 hours without having to go to the bathroom." And drinking mashka and drinking l'chaim. Didn't have to go to the bathroom. So
that's the godless.
Exactly. So that's what you were saying. That's the godless of the Rebbe. So,
Take an answer.
I'll tell you something else. So we are laughing now. What the Rebbe is for different people. Okay, for this goy taxi driver, the Rebbe is one thing. For a Yid, who never heard of Yiddishkeit and just for the first time hears about the Rebbe, it's not a thing. For Chassidim, the Rebbe is completely different. So,
For at least a quarter of my encounter stories, the Rebbe is the blue eyes.
right, exactly.
A guy in my route has a picture of the Rebbe. I mean, he's like all into everything. Like you after talking to him, you'd think he gets what a Rebbe is to a Chassid, but then he has a picture of the Rebbe next to a picture of some other random guy who was very successful in business or whatever, because it's about thinking big and being successful in your ambitious. Like, what the heck?
Exactly. So
blue eyes.
So it is an amazing thing. Okay. So the Rebbe has been essentially somebody else to so many different people. Different people appreciate him, but for total different reasons. So it's an interesting thing. Okay, now this is what the Rebbe has been for us. Okay, now what are we for ourselves? So this is an interesting thing. People. Every person is a storyteller. Now, storyteller about himself. Now, not to others, to himself. Whatever front I'm showing to all of you is all fake anyway. Don't worry about it. Okay? Don't worry about what I'm portraying to you. Okay? I'm showing you very smart, very holy, very this, very that. Don't buy any of that, okay? But what is a story that I'm telling myself about me? I am a storyteller about myself to myself, and that's the most essential thing. Now, I got news for you. Just like the Rebbe can be so many people. So many things to so many different people. Me, and not only me, my nefesh, the holy side of me, can be so many different things to me. I could look at a different. Imagine writing a book, like storytelling. You could have two different people witnessing two different events. Two different people witnessing the same event and write two completely different stories. Why? Because one's going to be focusing on one set of facts. The other one's going to be focusing on another set of facts. Both of them will be true. The question is, which story are you writing? One is going to write a story about the courage in the face of adversity. The other one's going to be writing about family dynamics and at the time of crisis. The third one is going to be writing about the inner turmoil the person is going through, right? So it is all true. The question is, which one are you writing about?
And that's why I have to learn Chassidus, so you could come to it with the right.
So
we'll think like
so we are. When I write a story about myself, And then I got news for you. Every book needs to have a title. Book needs to have a title. Now, title needs to have two requirements for a title. First of all, it has to reflect the reality of the book. You cannot write a title. If I'm writing a book about life on Mars, I cannot call it the cow that I slaughtered yesterday, right? It has to be some relation between the facts and what.
Well, the
title.
cow jumped over the moon, so we possibly got to Mars.
Right. But then the title's supposed to be interesting. It has to be exciting. It has to be something that that people appreciate. So when I write a story about myself, it has to be saying two things. First of all, it has to be grounded in facts. I cannot call myself an opera singer because I cannot sing for life of mine. Okay, I cannot call a book about myself as an opera singer. But then, on the other hand, it has to be exciting. Why? Because if I will call myself, if I look at myself and say, I'm a nice guy. It's nice to be a nice guy, but it's not exciting. What have you accomplished in your life? I've been a nice guy. Okay. And now what? So I need to think of something for myself that I've...
Menal.
Huh?
Menal.
What?
Menal.
You're Minahel. Yes. Here you go. So that's the problem. That's exactly the problem. You're a nice guy. So now, so think like this. So I need to have a title for my book. First of all, it's to reflect the truth. Second of all, it has to be something that I can appreciate. When I look at myself in the mirror, what do I call myself? What's the title of my book? I need to A, write my book. B, I need to have a one word or one sentence how I call myself. What am I? Now, the book has to have few parameters. First of all, every book needs to have sequence of events that make sense. Like point A has to be connected with point B, with point C, with point D. Then it has to have a purpose. It has to have like a culmination of the book. All these things have to be making sense and they have to be manageable for me emotionally. So all these things are true. But then the question is, what is the name of my book? And this is what I have a choice to
create.
I can create my own story, and I can write, just like the Rebbe has been so many different things to so many different people. My own Nefesh Elokis, forget about Nefesh Habamis. Nefesh Habamis is fair. Nefesh Habamis goes to a baseball game and sits there in a box office, in a box seat. But my Nefesh Elokis could have so many different stories and so many different titles, and it's up to me which story and which title will I pick for myself. When I look at myself in the mirror, what do I call myself? I can look in the mirror and I can say, I'm boring, dude. There's no life. Early to rise and early to bed makes you healthy and wise, but socially dead.
Oh.
I
love that one.
You love that one, right? I can say I'm a nice guy, but look at myself and say, I'm a loser. But just me. I'm a loser. I like being a loser because it's easy.
Alert.
Huh?
Miros, alert.
Me what?
Miros alert. The music's gonna play out of the mirror.
Yeah.
Hey there, Mr. Loser. Oh, you are a loser.
Yeah. So, or I could say I'm a great businessman. Or I could say I'm a chosid. Or I could say I'm a Talmid Chacham. Or I could say I'm a Mivtzoim man. Or what is the title of my book? Not title of my book doesn't have to capture every side, but to capture the main side. So what is the main side? This is the main question. That's what you asked about the tables. So this is what it is.
Tzlacha, bracha, bakum mikol, bracha batzlacha. I was thinking just this morning, if the Rebbe said bracha batzlacha to people and that encapsulated everything, then that's the best bracha. We'll still add to it because why not? Bracha b'atzlacha. And everything.
So the Rebbe doesn't belong to himself. The Rebbe gave everything to us.
Thanks for coming. Your scooter's still there?
So now, after the Rebbe gave everything to me, the question is, after, as a person who the Rebbe gave everything to, what do I call myself? What do I call myself? Now I know the Rebbe gave everything to me. The Rebbe doesn't belong to himself. It's Yontif, I'll see you. If the Rebbe,
Let me get a bracha achrona.
Yes.
I'll put it this way. Before I knew that the Rebbe gave everything he has to me, I could have called myself whatever I call myself. But now, when I know that the Rebbe gave everything he has to me, how does it affect me? How does it change my life story? How does it change what I call myself? You know, I speak, you know, as a shliach, I deal mostly and primarily with not from people, Baruch Hashem. Whenever I have to speak in the frum shul, I always tell them, excuse me, I'm used to people not interrupting me while I'm speaking because I deal with not from people.
They don't have as much chutzpah.
That's right.
They're just more clean capital.
So I speak with people and I ask them like this.
Touch the Yidden.
In Baltimore. So I ask people like this. I tell people, listen.
I hope you didn't copyright it all.
If I have a many times people come to me for marriage counseling. Okay, this guy, you know, two spouses come. This couple comes, and unfortunately, in non-Jewish circles, in non-Jewish culture, it's very common that they got married, and the guy still is hanging out with his friends, having his parties every night, or whatever, or the wife, doesn't matter, it could be either him or her. And one of them is more family intuitively oriented, the other one is just having his, living it up, having his life. So I tell people, listen, you are a husband now, you're a wife now, you're a wife. This title of a wife, how does it change your day-to-day life? If it doesn't, do me a favor, don't call yourself a wife. Don't have a title that doesn't have any effect on your day-to-day life.
Right.
Okay? You became now a mother or a father. I see Baruch family, Baruch Hashem, in frum world it almost doesn't happen. But in not frum culture, it's very, people have kids and then they still want to, have their nightlife and have their friends hang out and whatever it is. And this kid is here. I don't know what to do. We're going to send him to a babysitter. You know what I mean? And the kid is growing like a green grass outside. And I have to deal with this, by the way, quite often. So I sit down with people and tell them, listen, you're a father now. You're a mother now. You have a new title. Does this title change anything in your life?
It explains what a shame is.
Here you go.
It's a miyuchad, but it's also nifrid, meaning
here you go. So
Shlomo
is explaining it in Yeshua Chassidus. I'm 100%. Thank you, Shlomo.
No, but nightlife and socializing is a good thing because then the kids will see that.
Hold on.
Yeah. No, so in Chassidus...
No, unfortunately, if kids will see that's going to be a very bad thing. I don't want kids to see the socializing that they are doing.
No, there are two. No,
the socializing that they have, chas v'sholom, any kid should see. Chas v'sholom, I should see.
He's talking about people that they're not changing their life. The way that they were as singles, it stays the same. They get married. Now they have a wife, but they still have a single social life. They have a kid, still have a single social life. It's your life does more for around what's most important.
Meaning at the same
1 second.
So the part that's nifrid has to grow up a little bit.
But I agree with
it's
you.
still,
Your personal social life is super important to maintain.
So this is...
to be able to be a good
husband. I'm not
friends over.
It has to mature.
100%.
It must. Otherwise, it's
so
here
is
100%.
So here's the thing. So
this is why I need chassidus.
So by the same token, I tell people, listen, you call yourself a Jew, especially now after October 7th. Many, Baruch Hashem, majority of Jews are very proud Jews. You have a title, a Jew. How does it affect you on day-to-day life? If it doesn't affect you in day-to-day life, don't call yourself a Jew. That's it. Like Eliyahu said, "Ad Moshe Poish Chamashtei Sifim." Don't dance of Beit Chasanas. You call yourself a Jew. How does it affect you in day-to-day life?
Every man knows if,
If
you're,
it
if you're on
doesn't-
both sides of the fence, it hurts.
I think woman also knows that.
I guess. I'm not
but-
a woman, so I can't speak
Yeah.
for them.
So if you are a Jew, you have a title, a Jew. How does it affect you? If it doesn't, don't call yourself a Jew. That's it. So the same thing is with a chosed. You call yourself an Lubavitcher chosed. Now, I had when I was in 770, I was in charge of. We had Mashiach every single week. We had 3 people. One was in charge of the food, was in charge of the teuchen, one was in charge of PR. I was in charge of PR.
You didn't have any attendees, you just had those 3 people?
No, so I had to
That was the
come up-
VAD.
I had to come up with
The VAD was
different
the whole
lines.
thing.
I had to come, yeah, that was a VAD.
You were the
So-
marketing director.
On the marketing there. So you have to come up with different lines for every share. So one of the lines that we have, if the KGB would accuse you of being affiliated with the Rebbe, would they have enough evidence?
Okay.
Good luck.
Okay.
I
So
hope you didn't copyright it. I might use it.
what is
I
it?
hope you
That's
didn't copyright it. I must.
Shluchim
I might
in
use it.
Mesivta
Okay.
should be using
I'm gonna
that.
use that.
So-
yeah,
That's
for sure.
good.
So this is it. If you are calling yourself a choshet, if you are affiliated with the Rebbe, what's the evidence? Where you have a name. You have a name. Does this name mean anything? Or speaking in the terms of, you look at yourself in the mirror. Now everybody has their life stories. Why do I say stories? Because in my life, I could focus on one side of a story. I could focus on another side of a story. I will tell you my. By the way, your sisters. Did you watch the video of my mother's interview?
You never said.
Okay, so
Jim?
your sister watched. We have a video of my mother's interview in Atlanta. A Jewish high school had a project where they were taking interview from people from previous generations.
And
Yeah, we have a disc of it. It's on YouTube. So this high school.
Yes, YouTube.
I don't know.
So my mother, it's like an hour-long interview. Like an hour-long interview of my mother about her life. She tells a story how we got out of Russia. Shlemi. She tells a story, the whole thing, how we
Yeah?
With Rebbe's
All
bracha,
the juicy
how we-
details?
with Rebbe's bracha, how we got out of Russia, and we have a story. She tells the whole story of her life before that, and this is Shlomo. Listen to me.
Yeah.
Not yet. Just listen to me.
I'm trying to get the video there, but
You'll get it later. Put away your phone.
What which one?
Okay. So the
You'll get it.
Like
That
the
one.
Hey Tavis.
The one you'll get from Shlomo later.
it doesn't work.
Doesn't work.
Like the
File,
Hey Tavis.
file.
like I said,
I have it also somewhere.
I'm used to speak to not from crowd. You know that, right?
I'm not through.
Me too.
But you act
Why are you accusing me of being
maybe,
from?
but you act like from, unfortunately.
Fortunately.
Yeah, that's plenty of things that aren't through.
There's a fascinating thing that I see in my mother's interview, specifically at Bechal in her life. Now, just for you to understand, my mother lived through the worst times of the world's history. My mother was born during Stalin's times. She lived through World War II. She was in Leningrad under siege, almost starving to death. She then lived in post-war USSR, where life was terrible. Then she survived through anti-Semitism of the USSR, where she was not permitted to hold certain jobs. She got a PhD. She passed all the test and defend her thesis and everything to get her PhD. For 17 years, they wouldn't give her the title just because she's Jewish. They would not allow her. You're talking about everything from restrictions of job where you could work, where your kids can do, where her kids were able to go to school. You're talking about people who went through every hell possible, okay, not having enough food and being bullied in school and being bullied by adults and being, jobs, every terrible thing you could think of, okay? I want you to watch this interview. She speaks as if she's the luckiest and the happiest person in the world. And she keeps saying about every instance how lucky she was. Everybody did, but I was lucky enough and this happened. And I was fortunate enough, this happened. So she is a person who lived through the worst times in world history. People around her were arrested and put to jail right and left. My great grandfather's was put in Stalin's camps. Okay, my dedushkas
Put in Stalin's camps.
My father's grandfather.
That's it.
Huh?
What was his name?
You're allowed to.
He was Shleiman. My father's name after him. He was arrested by the Stalin's government, and he was put to camp. He was released afterwards, but